Bring you guys up. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the meeting of July 12th, 2018. Ben, can I have the roll call, please?
Sure. Deputy Mayor Chair.
Here.
Council Members Long.
Here.
Napolitani.
Here.
Shepica.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Here, everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance, and then please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer, for we lost a fellow member in Asbury Park recently, tragically to a fire, Mr. James Palmieri, so we'll remember him today. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Excuse my cough drop. I've been out with bronchitis for a week, so I'm trying to get that down there. The notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press, posted in Town Hall, and with the clerk on December 28th, 2017. There are two fire exits, one to my right, which will bring you out to the front parking lot, and then one to my left that kind of meanders down the hall, and that too brings you out to the parking lot. If you have a cell phone, now's a good time to turn the volume off. If you want to keep it on for pictures, that's fine. If you need to make a call, just kindly go out into the hallway, and you can make your call there. Okay. We have a couple of special guests with us tonight, a couple of Girl Scouts who had this Gold Award, which is really fantastic, so we're going to hear from them shortly. And also we have our guests from the SPCA to talk about our new Trap, Neuter, and Release program, which we're going to introduce shortly, but we'll get into that as well. Before we do, I'm going to go down the line and ask any of the council members if they have a report for us. So, Councilman Napolitani, you have anything for us?
Mayor, I just want to echo the sentiments of what you just said about losing James Famularo in the city of Asbury Park. He was very instrumental in helping the students over there. Not only was he assistant business administrator over in the city of Asbury Park, but he was also president of the Asbury Park Board of Education back in the 90s. The city lost a really good guy, and he lost his life trying to go back into his house to save his wife. So I echo those sentiments, Mayor, and
Unreal.
The city did lose a great guy.
Thank you, John. Donna, anything for us tonight?
Yes, I have a couple things. One, the library is having a book sale on Wednesday and Thursday, July 18th and 19th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the museum is having their American Doll Tea on the 15th of this month, and it's also a teddy bear party. It's at 1 o'clock. It's at the Woolley House. You have to answer RSVP very quickly on that one. And also on July 22nd, which is a week from this coming Sunday, we're having a doo-wop of Johnny Patillo at the band show. Hopefully we'll have some ice cream, and there also it's going to be from 6 to 8. And
What was the date again, Donna?
July 22nd.
Sunday.
It's at the, let me get this correct, it's the band show at the Mike Sinigliara Memorial Fairgrounds at Joe Palea Park on Deal and Whale Pond Roads. And that's all I have right now.
Great. Thank you. Rich?
No, nothing tonight, Mayor.
Rob, anything for us?
No, nothing tonight for me either, Mayor.
You were on vacation too long.
Yes, nothing to report. I also want to hear about the vacation.
We do, but later. How's that?
Stay late.
Okay. Mike, anything?
Nothing this evening.
No grants or anything this week? You're on a roll.
Not this week.
Okay. Marty?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, great. So at this time, we're going to come down from the dais because we have some very special guests here that we'd like to honor. We have our friends from the Girl Scouts who have won some gold awards. So we're going to come down. We're going to talk about them.
That's all.
Pass the notes
It will be in 2 seconds.
now. 1, 2. Oh. It's on. Great. All right. Might need my eyeballs for this one, but so it's always a privilege and an honor for us to honor special talented youth that we have here in Township, and it seems like we have an unexhaustible supply, and we're happy about that. And so tonight we have two Girl Scouts that won the Gold Award, right? So ladies, going to ask you to come on up here for a moment, and we have Shelby Pickley, right? And Angela Patel, right? Angela and Shelby, come on over here in the middle, girls, because we're going to quiz you a little bit. So First of all, I'm going to ask you, Angela, so tell us about Gold Award for Girl Scouts. Tell us about that.
So the Gold Award is basically 100 hours of leadership in your community. And so you build up. So first is the Bronze Award, and then the Silver Award, and last is the Gold Award. So it's the highest award that a Girl Scout can achieve.
And then, it was a good one. Now I know what it's all about.
Yes.
So, we reviewed in advance. So tell me about, though, how long have you been scouting, both of you?
Well, both of us have been scouting since we were in first grade, and we also both just graduated from Ocean Township High School, so that would be about 12 years.
So a lot of time, a lot of dedication, just like the Boy Scouts, and I know it's hard with a lot of outside distractions for younger people coming up. You got a lot of other interests coming at you, and to stick with it, the commitment, it's got to be phenomenal. So we're very proud of you for that. So Shelby, I have something for you also. I understand that you are a co-chair, right, of and a program leader of our Summer Theater Initiative.
I am.
Oh, I found that out. I did my homework here. So tell us a little bit about Black Box Theater and something that's going on August 3rd.
Sure, I would love to. With my friend Lucas DiGirolamo, who is currently a now sophomore at NYU, we worked with the coordinator or the head of the rec department that we have here in Ocean Township, and we created a community theater camp for kids in grades 6 through 10. And so on August 3rd will be the showcase that we are working hard for during the camp that has already begun. So if you'd like to see our adaptation of Where the Wild Things Are, please come to the band shell on August 3rd.
That's fantastic. Let's hear it for these guys. That's awesome. And so, and Black Box Theater, that's the new theater at the high school, right? That was built during that whole renovation stuff. So it came out beautiful, by the way. And so you guys are putting it to good use, and hopefully you put the band shell to good use, because we have a lot of summer series going on there. So that's just another addition to it. Great. College plans, Angela?
So I'm going to University of the Sciences in Philadelphia.
Starting in the fall, I presume, or late August? Shelby?
I will be attending Pace University in New York City.
Great. Okay, again, high achievers, once again, folks, something I was not accustomed to when I was in high school. So it's really an honor to be here with such wonderful people. So we have a little something for you, though, just to recognize your accomplishments. Thank you, John. My lovely assistant, Johnny, over here. So, Shelby, commemorating your tremendous accomplishments on becoming a Girl Scout and a Gold Award recipient on behalf of the Mayor and Council, please accept this award. You can hold that facing the camera. And then my lovely assistant, John. Angelica, again, commemorating her tremendous accomplishments on becoming a Girl Scout and a Gold Award recipient on behalf of the Mayor and Council, please accept our award. You're welcome.
Heads up. Get up front.
You're like McCain.
I'm up the front.
Okay, fantastic. Let's hear it for these girls again. Wonderful. Thank you, girls. Good luck in college. Congratulations. And good luck with summer theater. Good luck with the theater. I will look forward to it. I'm going to come out and check that out.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, good luck in school. Right. At this time, we're going to take a short recess, and we'll be back in session. And so I'm going to read the mayor's statement. The purpose of the public portion is to solely ask questions, understand resolutions, and vouchers that appear on this agenda, and is not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions to items on agenda should be asked during the public portion's comments at the conclusion of the meeting. Tonight we have the consent agenda. Anybody has anything on the agenda or the vouchers, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Mr. Don? All yours.
Do you want to leave this where it stands, or?
Please.
Please, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
think
can
I
do
got
that.
a position.
Don Geiger, 1108 Grassmere Avenue. Starting with on the bills list. Number 7. How many vests were purchased?
I believe it was 5.
It's all from my
Please.
That's almost $100. Okay. They aren't cheap. Bulletproof type?
No.
With safety?
Safety vest.
Do they glow in the dark?
They better.
and they have ads on the back that say
No, but
"Shop in Ocean
that's a
Township."
good idea. We can do that.
Okay. Aurora. Now I'm pretty sure I can figure out what it's about, but I just want to check. Aurora, number 17. Aurora Environmental Inc. Biannual service gas pumps. The one at the township garage to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Correct.
Am I correct on that? Ka-ching. Right underneath that, 18. Becker's Tree Service. Removal of trees to relocate. Where and why?
There were various that we had to remove. Some of them were like safety concerns. Some of them were disease and falling down.
Okay.
There were various ones around.
But you said relocate, so
Well, ones that we can replant, we'll do that. We
Okay.
have fun for that, yeah.
okay, just trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
And 33 Cooper Electric emergency repair. I take it the police department. Do you have any idea what had to be repaired?
It was a circuit breaker, a specialized circuit breaker.
Okay. And once it had failed, they had a problem.
Yes.
Okay. And I think I also know what this is, but I want to just double check. Number 38, shipping for cart tippers. The tippers, are we talking about the trash trucks that
Yes.
still have the tippers?
Yes.
Okay. What do we get, new tippers or? Okay. How much of a tip did they give? Ha!
Not enough.
Okay.
Ba-da-bum-bum.
Boo!
I'll be here all the week.
And now, moving on to page number 2. Now, I see what the flash thing is. So that's just for putting number 66, J Ford Electrical. That has to do with the resolution on hold harmless agreement.
No, that's actually to fix a light.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See? And now, 80. Are you... Video system, new vehicle?
Yes.
$1,000.
Yeah. Camera.
Does popcorn come with it?
I would hope. Yeah. It's camera, the recording system, the installation. Yeah.
10,000. Okay. And then 172, Rainbow Trunk Slide. What the heck is that?
That was on the capital program. That was the slide for at the pool. It's a new slide.
A new slide.
For the-
18. Okay.
It's getting a lot of use.
Oh, well, I certainly hope so. And I'm pretty sure that the chief went to this. 182, New Jersey State Association, 106th Annual Training
Yes.
Conference. Was that just the registration fee or everything?
No, it was a 3-day in Atlantic City. 3-day
Okay.
seminar. Yeah.
Okay, so, but was that just the registration
Yes,
fee?
yes.
Okay, nothing to do with hotel and other
No.
expenses. That'll come later, probably, maybe. And 191, I know what the power washing is, so that's just a surface, and I see where, just to make sure they're nice and sparkly.
I'm going to tell you, they went above and beyond there at the tennis courts in Wanamassa. They also cleaned the boxes, the flower boxes,
Uh-huh.
a lot of the pavement and all that. They did a pretty good job.
Okay.
You know, really nice.
And then 198. Did we have to get a new overhead hoist or repair an overhead hoist?
It was a repair on the plow, the piece that pulls the plow up and down.
Okay.
So they needed a new one. I'm a repair.
Okay. The only thing I struggle with, because 211, that's an awful lot of miscellaneous truck parts for $15,000.
This is a big box.
They buy in bulk. It's for, it's not just one specific thing.
No, I understand that. That's why the word miscellaneous
Right.
there.
No,
But it just seems like an awful lot for that type of money.
Well, you have all the side loaders, all the big equipment. It's expensive.
Not cheap.
No.
Okay. Okay. And right underneath it, I don't want to mispronounce his name.
He's a
Reimbursed training expenses.
He's a sergeant. It was for 6 different meetings that they had for training for coffee and stuff.
Okay. And I think, wait a minute, let's see. Oh, and 2 others. 240 and 241. Air quality permitting program. Is that so we can give a permit?
That is something the state.
I mean, 240. I'm sorry.
The state requires us to submit a permit and the amount of money that they want to issue the permit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, right underneath it for $9,000, environmental regulation. Is that all their new regulations, or what's $9,000?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in order to comply with the regulations that they send us. Absolutely.
Okay, so it's just we're paying for getting all their new regulations.
Yeah, and for permit fees, and it's all lumped in there. Yeah.
Man. Okay, and last but not least, 265, Building Safety Conference Hotel. Was that on obviously building safety, or doing hotels, or?
That is our construction official. It was for him to attend a conference.
Okay, various safety issues within a building.
Yeah, building codes.
And any stuff like this. Was that just the registration fee, do you know?
That was for the conference.
The whole thing,
Yeah.
the whole McGill.
Mhm.
And would you believe that's all, folks.
Oh, awesome.
Till
Thank
the
you.
close.
Anybody else have any questions on resolutions? Folks in the doorway, come on in. Come on in. Come on in, come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Jackie Wenzel, Deal Road. I just wanted to hear a little bit more about the environmental, like what are the regulations that we spent? Could you just explain that?
The one for the
9,000.
permits, there's permit fees that we're having, like for, there's a couple of Donalisa Drive over there. We're doing work that involves some of the waterway that goes by there. We have to apply for a permit from the department, the NJDP, and the cost for them to issue the permit is roughly $4,500 that we have to pay for that. There's two separate projects going on right now. One is Donalisa Drive, and the other one I can't remember exactly where it is right now.
What are the waterways? Is it Poplar Brook or Whale Pond?
Donalisa Drive is right over here.
Off of Wickapeco.
Is it Wickapeco?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's work that has to be done for the pipe that goes under the road for that, so that's what that's for. A blessing. So we have to apply to them, let them know what work we're doing. They approve it, then we also have to submit the fee for it.
So these are all the fees for them just to come in and do the work?
No, we do the work.
They review. They review what we're doing, making sure we're not disturbing anything more than you have to, and you're complying with. Anytime you're dealing with sensitive areas, waterways, or wetlands, etc. Even the township has to comply.
Okay. So what are the pipes that they're running down there?
There's culverts that go underneath the road. That's some of the work they got. I guess there's a blockage in one of them, and the engineer has to come in and do a plan to get it. But since it's waterway there, they have to get DEP approval before we do it.
So this is just specific to a specific,
Yes.
not just an annual thing that
No.
we pay? Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else on resolutions or vouchers that appear on the agenda? Come up to the microphone, state your name and address. No? Okay. Seeing an Aaron Hohen, we're going to offer the minutes of June 28th, 2018 workshop. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Also, we have resolutions 18-130 through 18-139. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I will second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. And for individual action, we have vouchers in the amount of $905,877.83. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I will second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and for resolutions, individual action, 18-134, authorize a professional service contract with the following: Gluckrath LLP Bond Counsel. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, 18-135, authorize the consideration of bids of police uniforms, Lanigan Associates, Tinton Falls, New Jersey. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, 18-136, that's our SPCA. We're going to pull that, and we'll do you guys last so you can come up and explain yourself. Good stuff. So we'll go to 18137 for now. Authorize a contract with North American Insurance Management, a division of AccuSure LLC, as a Township of Ocean's insurance broker for employee benefits. Someone please offer.
I'll offer one. 18137.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
And yes. 18138, authorize a contract with North American Insurance Management, a division of AccuSure LLC, as the Township Risk Manager for property, casualty, and workers' compensation. Someone please offer.
I'll offer it.
Second.
138.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. And now also back to 18136, going to authorize the mayor to execute the memorandum of an agreement with the Monmouth County SPCA. We have with us Mr. Russell Citra and some friends. Please, Ross, come up to the microphone and tell us all about our wonderful agreement we're going to enter into with you.
Did I want to come up?
And if you want to bring your guest up, Mr. Crawford. If
You want to come up? Come up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we're on, get on
You're on
TV.
TV. You're on TV. It's your big break.
You can Google yourself later. And viewership of 7 we have about maybe 8.
Thank you. Okay. On behalf of the County SPCA, I'd certainly like to express my sincere thanks to the mayor and councilmen and women here today at Ocean Township for having us to present the Monmouth County SPCA TNR program to go in partnership with the township. The Monmouth County SPCA has a program called TNR, Trap, Neuter, and Release Program. It is a program designed to help get under control the community cats, basically the feral cats within our community. All too long, this problem has been ignored in our communities throughout the United States and quite frankly throughout the world. The County SPCA, in conjunction with many other humane law enforcement and humane animal welfare organizations, have developed this program, and it's been tested and proven over the years that trapping, neutering, and releasing feral cats back to the location where they are being taken care of or living wild and free will drastically reduce the feral cat community population by 60 to 70% within 6 to 7 years. It's not a silver bullet program, but it's a beginning to a program that certainly needs to be addressed. For every mayor and council that I've spoken to throughout Monmouth County that has signed on to the MOU program, I've explained to the council and mayor that I understand the calls that you receive in regards to problems with community cats, and there's an enormous amount of people who are on the pro side and there's an enormous amount of people who are on the con side. There is no bad side to a TNR program. There's nothing bad that can come out of it. I understand the concerns for the health departments that feral cats can and certainly have in the past been involved with wildlife and can become rabies vectors if they are infected. So this is a major concern for us as the county SPCA and also your local and county health departments. The TNR program, when we catch a cat and we neuter that cat receives all of their vaccinations, including, most importantly, their rabies vaccination. Now, of course, we'll receive, some people will say, well, that's only good for 3 years or whatever. Well, the truth is it's really good for longer than 3 years, but wouldn't you rather have a cat that was vaccinated for at least 3 to 4 years rather than having a cat that was not vaccinated at all? The other issue is that cats are, by law, considered domesticated animals. And the explanation there is this. Domesticated animals, dog, cats, domesticated wildlife are protected under certain laws by the state of New Jersey, which are completely different than wildlife population. Wildlife is protected by the Division of Fish and Wildlife and falls under the protection of them, but therefore they don't have the same protection as a domestic animal, like a cat or a dog. So, for instance, if we pick up a stray cat, some people's solution is, well, let's just pick them up and euthanize them all. But the problem is, when we're picking up cats, we don't know if they actually belong to somebody. They could be someone's privately owned cat that maybe got out and ran down the road, or whatever the case may be. The program that we've developed, and I'll cut it short from this point on, the program that we've developed is to develop a strategic partnership along with the municipality or the city that gets involved. The cost to neuter a cat that it cost us at the Monmouth County SPCA to neuter, vaccinate, microchip, we microchip every cat, is $75. When we go under a memorandum of understanding with a municipality, the county SPCA will split that cost with the municipality at $37.50 per cat. Now, we certainly understand that the mayor and council have a budget to worry about, so we always put a 100 cat limit to the memorandum of understanding. So going forward, we know from this point on, we will never spend more than $3,750 in the program once we hit the 100 cat mark. If we do hit the 100 cat mark within the year, the mayor and council have the right to come back, re-vote on it, and sign up for another 100 cats. We are currently under the TNR program. We just recently started with the city of Long Branch, and we hit the 100 mark cat very, very quickly. The city went back, voted on it immediately, and just gave us the authorization to move forward and continue the TNR program for another 100 cats. Seabright also was another one of those towns that hit the 100 mark cat very, very quickly. As the program moves forward, what the most important part of this program is developing community colony caregivers, people who are sometimes in the shadows, who stand out and want to feed our community cats without the fear of being caught, or with the fear of being caught maybe by the animal control. And by the way, we do your animal control here also in Ocean Township, but being fearful that maybe they're doing something wrong or illegal. If a community caregiver comes to this program and we have an application for each person who wants to be a colony caregiver, that application must be filled out and approved by both the municipality and the county. Has to approve equally that this person will be a responsible, caring, and great agent, because basically what they're doing is they're acting as an agent for the municipality and acting as an agent for the county SPCA. That person has to be of great character and moral, and we have to know their background prior to this, that they weren't a major problem prior. Now, we've pretty much, I don't think we've not really denied anyone. We've had one or two some problematic ones in all the municipalities that we've done, and if these people have rules and regulations that they need to follow, we set parameters, like for instance, no feeding after a certain hour during the day, because we don't want to attract wildlife. As people leave food out, of course, we're going to attract raccoons, possums, and they're going to be in competition with the cats, and bites are going to happen, and God forbid the spread of rabies. So if we find that colony caregivers are violating these rules, then they are brought in there by the town and by us, and they're read the Riot Act, or they're brought under, under umbrella of scrutiny. If they continue to do so, we remove them out of the program. And then if they continue to do so, then they'll fall under the enforcement of the county SPCA under Title IV, which is our authority under the prosecutor's office and within the county to do so. So the other part of this program is the medical record keeping, which is a very, very important thing. The Monmouth County SPCA is a full functioning shelter, veterinary clinic, full operating. We do over 400 to 500 surgeries every month at the Monmouth County SPCA. We're a full operating veterinary hospital there. We keep track of every cat that gets neutered. We keep track of their microchips. We keep track of their locations. We keep track of their colony caregivers, their color, who they are, everything about them to identify them. We keep equal records, and we share those records also with the municipality. We will do all the work. All we ask from the municipality is that you present to us a liaison. It could be a council member, it could be a member of your health department, or whoever you may decide, just so that we have a liaison that we can communicate back and forth and maintain an open channel of communication with that person. It has been a very, very, very successful program. Last year, we started this with the initiative of our county freeholders. County freeholder Tom Arnone had asked me to present before the County Shared Service Conference last May in regards to having a TNR initiative moving forward through Monmouth County. And I could tell you that we are the benchmark for the state of New Jersey in this program. There is no other county or no other organization that has gone so far than we have in the past 2 years in the TNR program. We have TNR'd
thousands of cats in the last couple of years, and we know that we're drastically seeing a reduction in the community cat problem. And the big, and I'll leave it on this final statement, the big thing for the mayor and council is it's a great thing when you get a call from the public who wants to make a complaint or a concern about the community cat problem, and rather than saying, I'll look into it, it's great to say we're already doing something about it. We're in an initiative and we got a plan moving in action with the county and get the job done. Again, and I remind this to everybody, this is not an issue that is going to be solved overnight. It's an issue that will take us sure and steady as we move 5 to 6 years to get it under control. And for the problematic areas that we have where there are maybe an abundance of over feral cats, we're going to relocate those cats. We'll trap them, we'll relocate them, and right now I'm working on an initiative with Freeholder Arnone, creating a colony at the Monmouth County landfill where we can use the feral cats to maintain natural pest control within the county landfill so we can stay away from chemical agents or other poisons that may adversely affect wildlife that we don't want to hurt, and we can use the feral cats, relocate them. We'll be in charge of feeding them at that location and care for them at the end. Right. That's our job. That's what your county SPCA does and why we're here for it. So, again, if there's any questions at any time, I'm always here. I'm here tonight to answer questions or anything moving forward.
Who are these lovely people that are accompanying you tonight?
With me tonight is Scott Crawford. Scott is our general manager in charge of our entire animal control program throughout the county. All the towns that we service, including Ocean Township from animal control, all the county parks, county buildings, and everything else. Deborah Lee is also one of our animal control officers, but her sole responsibility, well, her main responsibility is TNR, trap, neuter, release. That's just what she does every single day with another full-time animal control officer by the Monmouth County SPCA. You might see our little short bus running around. It's white, it's painted, Monmouth County SPCA TNR with all the traps in the back. And we travel from every part of the county all over. We do a lot of private TNRing too for governments and, like Navison Country Club just hired us to do a lot of
business commercial.
Business commercial. Thank you, Mayor.
Right. So at this time, stay right where you are, Ross. I'm going to go out of order here, but if anybody has any questions, you can just sit in your seat and I'll repeat them here from the microphone, and that way Ross can answer them. Don.
When is this going to begin, and do you have an estimate about how many feral cats you're dealing with in the county?
So his question was, when is this going to begin, and do you have an estimated time? The reason I say that, he won't be picked up on television, and we'll lose ratings. And if we lose ratings, we won't be able to pay the $37.50 per cat.
Sure. This will begin the moment that the mayor and council gives me authorization to do so and passes the resolution to move forward. Once we get passing of the resolution,
which is
tonight, we will immediately, which means we'll start tomorrow. Sure. Okay. As far as the estimated cats of feral cats in Ocean Township, quite frankly, I have no idea. There's a lot. There's a lot.
That's an accurate number.
Exact number.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Very
and
accurate number.
Every single solitary community within the county and the state have a feral cat issue, without a doubt. Obviously, our larger county, our municipalities like Howell, who is 63 square miles, you may not notice it as much, but they have a huge problem all over. So it's a lot of cats.
Right. Anybody else? Yes. Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do. We're already in the midst with them. Yep. We've been for a while. We've been TNRing in another private entity that has come under.
At Monmouth has a program.
Yeah, and we've been dealing with them in TNRing there for a while.
Don again.
Certain sections of the township that have a greater problem than other sections.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
I know Wanamassa was definitely an area where we've concentrated our efforts in before, and we'll certainly go to that way. But the most important thing we need to do is to get the word out to the public that this program and initiative is moving forward, and for them to reach out to us here at the Monmouth County SPCA or the designated liaison from the municipality. It's probably better to reach directly to us because we can get the ball rolling immediately, identify a target area, we'll go in there, we'll assess the issue. If it's a perfect TNR situation, we'll immediately start trapping, neutering, getting the cats back out in return. If it's an abundance of cats, an abundance of issue, then we'll make arrangements to either lower the amount of cats there and remove cats that may need to be removed.
Right. So what will happen is tomorrow Adrian will put on my Facebook page, Township Facebook page, information and contact info for Ross and what we're doing, so folks know we can get the colony managers involved as well. That's what we're really looking for.
Yeah, that's very, very important
That's
to
key
get them
to the
signed
success.
on. It is the key. You're right, Mayor. It is truly, truly the key to success is get the colony caregivers to come forward and to know that they are not going to be in trouble, even if they have an active colony right now. That's very important for them to come forward to us. We'll document them, approve them. They become our agent, and they'll be working. That is what makes it successful.
You hear that, Lisa? That's my fiance at home. You can sign on with Ross. Do this legit. Anyway, anybody else?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
No? Yeah,
Yes.
I found
Yes,
this
it is.
program. I saw that Long Branch was involved, and they said, hey.
It's a very, very proactive program. The biggest part of this program to make it successful, and I say this to everybody needs to come to the center of the room. We need to get the people who want to be the massive feeders to know that what they're doing needs to be controlled and come to the center of the room. And then we have the people who are impacted to come to the center of the room too. And we're very, very conscious of people's rights. And I just wanted to let the mayor and council know that we are very in tune to that. So, if we do have a resident who is being severely impacted by a feral cat issue,
And that's happening.
Right, and we need to really seriously bring that under control, and this is the best way to do it.
Great. Win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I had a case where I was involved for the town, and in fact, I'd ask you to give me a call, but where one woman was particularly impacted by a lot of feral cats, and the neighbor was, I guess, harboring the
Sure.
feral cats.
I know who you're talking. I know.
I know
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
Sure.
Ross is familiar
Not
with
familiar.
it.
Sure
Right.
he is.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Mayor.
much. Thank you guys for
Councilman,
coming.
thank you.
Thanks for coming.
At this time, put the microphone back. I'm going to, so on 18136, authorize the mayor again to execute a memorandum of agreement with the Monmouth County SPCA for a program. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I will second that.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Well, we had quite a contentious meeting here a while back, and I have to give praise to the mayor for attacking this issue and trying to understand that there's two sides of the issue. I think that was pointed out by Mr. LaCitra. There are two sides to the issue, not just one. So I think that this authorization and this memorandum of agreement is going to be beneficial to both sides of the issue. And again, I praise the mayor for becoming very interactive with your agency and coming up with this memorandum, and I gladly vote yes.
Council members Napolitani.
I echo those sentiments of Councilman Long, and I also vote yes.
Councilwoman Shepherd.
And I vote yes also.
Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Okay. Memorandum approved and agreed upon. See you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'm only serious. Make it 8:30. Okay. Good stuff. At this time, if anybody has anything from the public germane to Ocean Township, step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
It's Ray Pogwitz, 1308 Vina Ave. You know me as the former chair of the Environmental Commission. It seems necessary for me to come here tonight in light of the allegations, social media, and news articles written about me. Let me first tell you, Mr. Mayor, it was bizarre to get an email from you stating that I was not reappointed after 10 years service and over 1,000 hours of service. So thank you.
You're welcome.
It seems that you've created a disposable volunteer. When I called you, you stated that the council wanted to go a new direction. That's your prerogative. I have no problems with that. But more bizarre than that, it is the following week you called me, and you stated that it was because of a code of conduct violation. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Only to learn that the Hudsons got this call before I did. You had released it to them before. So now this code of conduct boils down to 2 complaints within the same month. One complaint came from my questioning the planning board secretary why it wasn't given, or why it could not be given, the Jim Higgins final report on the Toll Brothers development, where the year before she had freely gave me a report from the Dean site freely. So that was one complaint. The second complaint came in from a township employee who called me about my getting my annual report in order for Sustainable Jersey. That's where we got our $20,000 grant. So when I mentioned I needed to file this Oprah, she started yelling at me first, saying that the prior years did not need that type of detail. I didn't need the Higgins report, and that I also mentioned that the development dominated the prior year and it was important. I'm not going to rubber stamp a report like that. So for this, I got a complaint. Now both complaints involve no swearing, name calling, or threats. I've talked with your township manager here about it. The first time I've talked about the first offense, it seemed like we settled it. The second one, I gave you a rebuff on it. And out of the blue, I'm bumped off the Environmental Commission. So now, what both of these complaints have what they both have in common is my requesting the Higgins report. Now, lo and behold, this Higgins report presented me with both a question and a revelation. First, it showed that a donation of the Shade Tree Fund would be made. Now, for the sum of $131,250. In the beginning of the year, I requested an accounting, Mike, if you remember, from 2015 to 2018. So now, I didn't see the contribution in there for Toll Brothers. Mr. Mayor, I basically mentioned this to you 2 months ago, and I showed you this accounting, and I said I didn't see the Toll Brothers contribution in it. You said you would get back to me. You did not. So where is the money, I ask? That's one question. The second item of interest was the additional comments section within this Higgins report. It basically said that Higgins advised the applicant, Toll Brothers, to work with the EC. This has never been done before, to achieve an appropriate landscape plan. We've never seen that before. The only problem is that the report was dated a year and a half before, January 4th, 2017. The Environmental Commission never got it. The Planning Board Secretary nor our liaison to the Planning Board did not bring this to our attention. If they had, things may have been very different at Toll Brothers. There may not have been as much clear cutting. It may have been a whole different outcome. It was not. So, again, I had to Oprah this report through your Director of Community Development. First time ever we've had to do this. Not only myself, but others on the Shade Tree and Environmental Commission believe we have an adversary relationship with this person. So, lo and behold, I can only imagine that it could have been much different, and I feel very sad for Wayside right now because it could have been extremely different. So, I wanted to bring up two other items other than this. Other members have brought to me about attendance. You were talking about attendance during the last meeting. Mm-hmm. So last year you guys appointed Andrew Brennan, to the Environmental Commission. Is he still on it?
No.
Okay, thank you. He only attended
Lack of attendance. We had to remove him.
Excellent. Thank you for that, at least.
You're welcome.
He basically only attended one meeting in the whole year.
Yep.
The other thing is another member mentioned to me that Donna Chappella, we haven't spoken in years. I haven't seen you in a few years.
You told me you didn't want me there.
When did I say that?
Oh, 3 years ago you told me that.
No, I did not. Well, you said, I said. I don't recall that.
You told me I couldn't come because we had our council meetings the same night, so you don't want me there, that you're going to deal directly with Chris.
Well, exactly. So, yeah, at a point, it became, when you became mayor, we started meeting with you because you were appointed, or you wanted to become liaison about 8 years ago. You only showed up to one meeting, and ever since you didn't. At that point,
I've been getting the minutes, I've been reading the minutes, and then you stopped me getting the minutes even.
Did I? We have a secretary. I'm not sure. That's not my duty.
Okay, well.
That's not my duty.
I was stopped getting them, and Chris gets them now.
I don't know about that. Anyway, you basically lost contact with us, although recently one of our commissioners said that you're still telling him that you're the liaison, and in the last 2 elections you've actually posted that you are liaison. I've talked to the mayor about this. Even when he was the mayor and he was our to go liaison. So I just wanted to clear that up. It was an issue that was brought to me. It's been on the back plate for a long time. So forth.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what to say other than...
Well, Ray, I want to say this.
Yeah.
I appreciate your service. I appreciate all volunteers.
Well, getting an email from you.
I think what we're going to do
Yes.
is, you've had your opportunity. We haven't interrupted you.
Okay,
So
go
the
ahead.
mayor's speaking. Let him speak.
Go ahead.
And I just want to say we appreciate all volunteers. I say they're the backbone of the community. We couldn't survive without our volunteers. And I had a meeting just now with the Environmental Commission.
know.
They were gracious enough to come in and let them know we're allies, not adversaries. We handle the same customers. We're there for the same purpose. We have different set of rules sometimes because it's legal matters involved, etc. But we all strive for the same goal, and we all have a fiduciary responsibility to the 27,332 people of Ocean Township to make it a great place to live. It's really what we're here to do. That being said, content of what you're saying is not here to dispute any of it. It's not what you say, Ray. It's how you say it. And I think that was part of your problem as not getting reappointed. Although I don't have to give any reason for not reappointing any member to any committee that's the mayor's appointment. An Environmental Commission is solely the mayor's appointment. Environmental Commission chairman is solely the mayor's appointment. So I tried not to embarrass you and go with we're going in a different direction. I didn't want to air out any grievances or reasons why, but being pressed. And no, did not tell Hudson's first. Told you first.
No, regardless of what I have.
At any rate,
I got your phone call the day after.
At any rate, Ray, I've been trying to call you. As you know, sometimes you don't always answer your call, too. But at any rate, be that as it may, you wanted a reason, I ultimately gave you a reason, I left it right there, and that's why.
Okay. When you say we work together, asking for an Oprah on a report that we need to partner together and also getting resistance from the community development to work with us is not partnering.
No, you brought that up, and we were going through that at that time, but the way you went about it, Ray, and again, I don't want to get into it here, but the way you went about it wasn't right. These employees do not deserve somebody coming down there and getting in their face, being intimidating, belligerent. We have zero tolerance for that. We're not going to put up with that from anybody. Whether you're a volunteer or a paid employee, it doesn't matter. To do that to our employees is reprehensible. We're not going to tolerate that.
Do you have proof of that? Do you have written proof? You don't have written proof.
Okay,
Do you have?
We're not here to have.
Yeah. Okay. No.
We're not here to have a hearing.
You're accusing.
Excuse me.
Okay.
We're not here to have a hearing. We're here to listen to what you have to say.
Okay.
The mayor responded.
They'll take a different venue then.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Thanks for showing up.
Listening to me.
No, anytime. Come again. Where is the money? Sure.
I don't have any of the information in front of me.
Okay. We have. Where do you think it is? Okay. We have it. It's in town. It's probably in our fund, I'm sure. Pardon? I've been asking them to plant. You got to come up to the microphone and state your name and address. We can't debate from here. Come on up. Say your name. Ask the question. I'll answer it for you. How's that?
Mike Unetta, 1318 Vina Ave.
So Mike was asking where the money is from the Shade Tree Fund.
He asked the question.
Okay, so Mike, we have a robust Shade Tree Fund, and there's a lot of money in there, and I've been asking for a planting plan for about 3 years now from the Shade Tree and the Environmental Commission. We're ready to plant whenever they can submit a plan. We have plenty of money to do that, though.
All right. And I just think it's a shame that I know you guys have differences with Ray.
Yeah.
But
I don't have any
think
difference.
He's
I
an
like him.
asset to this township,
Mhm.
and the fact that you guys all sit up here and make faces. And
Who's making a
when you
face?
see him, I saw you see him, and I saw you under your breath.
Well, you're assuming that, and I don't
Okay,
appreciate that at all, sir.
no, that's
Thank you,
okay.
though.
But he's a very talented.
He's a
and
talented man,
knowledgeable
but no
person,
employee
and-
deserves that. Is that how you would run a
and
business?
you
Would
guys-
you allow that in your business?
What's that?
Allow somebody to get in their face?
I call that actual passion for
Mhm.
trying to get something done and running.
He comes to the mayor or he comes to the manager? He doesn't go to the employees. There's a
I'm
protocol.
actually a business owner, and I.
That's how we do it in Ocean Township, sir.
But
That's the protocol.
to have somebody with his skill and knowledge is an asset to this.
It was
town
wonderful.
that
He was.
feel
I
like
didn't
you guys
dispute
could
that.
really use because
Didn't dispute that.
you don't really have.
No, you're great though. Thank you. Anybody- I appreciate. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody else?
Of course.
I'm not going to be here for all of her. Okay.
I want wanted to put it a little more sideways because people say they
Can't
when they
see
go
the
up to
profile.
them to talk and I say attend these meetings, they say we don't recognize you, we just see the back of your head. So we're generating a lot of attention these days, obviously, because of our
So Jackie, you got to give your
Save
name and
32
address
acre.
for the record.
I already did before.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. He didn't pick it
You
up.
want- you want-
Not when you came up this time.
Yeah.
So you got to do it
You
each
don't think
time.
it's the same audience?
You might have changed, but you're supposed to give your name each time. But go ahead.
Okay, Jackie Wenzel, Deal Road. Anyway, first off, I'm really thrilled to see right here. I've often been saying that the Shade Tree Commission, the Environmental Commission, is often the same nights of the county, community meetings, and I've been always having to go to a second meeting to hear what they have to say, and I thought sometimes it might be best to have them combined, so because it's so much of a conversation point at this time. I'm also really happy to see right here because the social media thing really got out of hand, and I think it really almost portrayed that he did something quite bizarre in the room. It was like violated a code of conduct. What does that mean? It would have been better if you just said Ray got a little angry with one of our clerks. I thought he pulled his pants down in the office. I was like, what could he have done? What is his code of conduct? And everybody was like, at home gossiping about it, and it was terrible because he's such a straight up great guy who's volunteered to maintain the tree count in this community, and I'm happy to hear that this question's on the table about where is that money, because it keeps coming up. A lot of times when I have conversations with people, they're like, isn't there supposed to be a certain amount that the developer pays for every tree that gets knocked down? And
just to back to that, though, I don't think Toll Brothers' contribution comes in, Marty, after the.
I would have to look at the resolution,
But it would all go in the Shade Tree Fund.
Typically, the contributions, and again, I'm not sure if it with the Shade Tree Fund, but contributions oftentimes come in at the point of either permits or closings, or not closings usually, permits or COs. I'm not quite sure when their contribution was due. What I'm talking about primarily is, they're making other contributions to the town aside from the Shade Tree, and I believe that's tied into the issuance of permits or COs. I'm not sure when the Shade Tree money would be paid, because that's when they're starting to earn money.
But ultimately, to answer everybody's question, it gets funneled into, at the end of the year, when the accounting's done, goes from general fund into Shade Tree Fund, wherever it's appropriate, where it's supposed to go. That's where it will go to.
I thought it was a strictly held, accountable situation, because perhaps if the price is high enough, they'd save some trees instead of being lazy and clear cutting it all and then assuming they'll just put a couple back. And then
that's the point, right? To make it high enough that they think about cutting before you cut.
The amount, according to what Ray said, I don't know what the amount was, but he said it was 130,000. I thought he said so, whatever, which is a substantial amount. In addition, they also had to put in trees. Now, obviously, they're not huge trees; they're relatively new trees, but they had to berm and put in trees, and they've done that. And
yeah, but the point of all that, which we've gone over a million times, is that they don't do for the environment what a mature tree does in terms of protecting the environment. So that's our concerns, and we keep going back to that. So I think the other point, if we build up the bank account of trees from these developers, we can do more, replanting or preserving some of that land, or maybe buying back, using it for green acres to buy some natural buffers.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll move on to just other questions that came to me over this process. I was asked, did Paramount, as they are, proposing to perhaps buy this land, have they been required to do an environmental impact statement? Do you know an EIS? Do you know what that is, Mayor?
Yeah.
Currently, frankly, we're in litigation regarding the Paramount, the rezoning. So, and I don't know anything about what statements they've been provided, but given the fact that there's a litigation pending, I don't really want to have the council discuss on what the current issues regarding Paramount are.
Okay, so.
But procedurally wise, Marty will say, a typical application, when they come in, they have to submit to various agencies, various applications, such as DEP, DOT, etc.
Right.
So something like that would probably be incorporated into that to the environmental protection.
Yeah, it was someone from the Sierra Club had just known that I was involved in this and just said, well, do you know if the developer did an environmental impact statement?
I know the application was brought in. I don't think it's been put on a calendar yet or anything, so I don't know from that point, then it'll probably, he has to submit to them as well simultaneously.
Yeah, that would be part, whatever that would be part of a planning board process.
So is there a chance for us to read that or the community to know about it, what the environmental impact would be before the planning board meeting?
Whatever the reports are, I'm not quite sure who they get at this point, who they get directed to, but the reports could become available, sure.
So you've never worked with this before, an environmental impact
You
statement?
know what, I know we had to get different studies done, but typically on most large projects, it has to get approved through the DEP. So they have to get a separate DEP approval from that agency.
So this type of report is a DEP report, or is it?
I don't know. The environmental impact statement from whom?
From the developer?
Yeah, it would come from the developer as, I guess, a consideration in how it would impact our environment, what their plans
That
are.
would most likely be a requirement of the DEP. We'll check for you.
But wouldn't Toll Brothers have had to do one? I feel like you're acting like you've never heard of it before. I would have thought they would have had to do one too.
Frankly, I don't get involved as the township attorney. I don't get involved in that. As the planning board attorney, which I was until like 2005, typically there were requirements where they had to get approval through DEP, and we would deal somewhat with the environment, but they would do the major issues relating to environmental concerns.
Okay. That's so much of our momentum right now in terms of our passion to try and, redesign what happens on the corner. Some real positive suggestions have come out of us doing our sign campaign, which is another thing I want to bring up before I sit down. But a lot of people are just saying, why doesn't the town just extend Joe Palea Park? I mean, the park is so beautiful. People love it. I've spoke to, again, someone from the Sierra Club who has done a beautiful butterfly garden, have really built up the whole, Faith? She built up the whole water side of Whale Pond there, the watershed. I mean, it's so beautiful. Like, you go there and you can, it's kind of have this very zen nature experience. And I love Joe Palea Park the way it is, but it's very much like a sort of, I guess we are urban, as we keep saying. But, it has a paved paths, and it's great for sports, and it's great for walking around. And I'm not really, I feel safe walking around it with my dog. It doesn't feel like too scary like a forest. But it doesn't have, we don't have any gardens in there necessarily. So to take the corner and have it perhaps become, Joe Palea Gardens, or, I don't know. It was just being in that garden made me feel like, why don't we do a part of the land, if we can, like I've asked for before, a consideration that Green Acres would buy maybe like a horseshoe shaped amount of forest to preserve that, leaving, as our 1990 master plan states, commercial 13 acres only on 35. If Paramount could sort of minimize their project to that, then that would leave a whole lot of space for us to maybe, like you had said, some of the trees are older, so maybe some of them would be pruned, and then we'd build a natural and indigenous garden in that area. I think everyone I've spoken to really likes that idea.
And I know you've been to meetings, and a lot of people haven't. They don't know how far we've gone, or I've gone personally. I've saved the 32 acres 12 years ago.
Yeah, no, and we appreciate that.
And if I didn't, we'd be over there having the miniature hot dog and the blankets all week for celebrating their 12th anniversary. But I was very passionate about it, but then I hit the litigation wall. Mm-hmm. Not to say I've gone as far as I could. Mm-hmm. But what we did do, we got to 208 acres, Palea Park, which is great, and it was used, and you used it for your event, and I'm sure you loved it. But then more importantly... I was surprised
Donna didn't promote my event.
What's that?
Donna always promotes parades and picnics, and nobody promoted my event.
But then we moved over, and the story was they want to sell the 75, and we're able to carve out the 42, which is the best 42 of what was left. And we have that Lee right in front, that one of the members of the Environmental or Shade Tree Committee came to me a few years ago and said, hey, we used to mow it down and have that field there. And it was Maggie Boyce. And said, Mayor, it would be nice to leave that natural, let it grow in, have butterflies, have these different specimens. And we did, and it came out beautifully. And there's probably about 10 acres right there that you see in front of the Human Services building.
Yeah, the meadow there, it's wonderful.
Yes, Maggie did that, and I said, wow, it came out great. So we leave that alone. But, when you sit at that site and you see the tower and you see the Human Services building, you see that 250-year-old building, and then the state-of-the-art library, we did what we really could. I mean, I would love to save it all. You know that.
that's what you did
I
then.
would love to save it all.
What have you done for us lately?
What have you done for us?
I understand,
lately?
right?
That's
I can't pull the rabbit out of the hat every time. You know, bad guy, and this guy said we're terrible.
But maybe
you
other-
don't know what we've done.
But maybe no, I know what you've done. I've heard it repeated to me many times. But it's just that now it's a new time. You know, we have new environmental issues. We do now that all the trees came down and
But
told
the
us.
reason, and I tell you, I had Maurice change those plans 7 times, and each time I asked her, "Will you sell us some of the residential? Will you?" I've asked him every time. I think you know I've asked him.
No,
every
I
time.
know, but he hasn't had to yet. But perhaps if
Right.
an environmental study's done or the DEP
We don't
says
know yet,
this
right?
won't
His
fly.
plans haven't been submitted. We haven't seen how the application's going to go. I don't know what could happen. There's still a possibility that he might say, "Hey, I don't know. Maybe I can't develop it all. Maybe I'll sell it." There's still, I don't know. Right now, his plans include probably both financially and the way he has it laid out that he needs all this to complete his piece. And that's on a whole nother level. I
Yeah,
get
but
it.
that's being-
So for that reason, he doesn't want to sell.
That's not very nice to the community. He then
Understood.
gives money
Listen.
to the Little League on the very street
no.
where the kids are going to be trying to cross and dodge all this traffic. I mean, that part I don't get either.
We're dealing
I'm
with,
with you. I'm with you there. It's just as much as I don't know what else I could do except for we'll have to see how it goes from here. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. One more thing.
You didn't bring it with you?
No, I couldn't hold it.
Oh well, you can't do that on TV. What are you doing? Well, for what?
Because I wanted to just let people know that. You know,
Chris saved the 32 acres. It doesn't say it. You should put it up there then. Make it
but I
right.
want people to know that. Anyway, there are many people that are waiting for a reorder for these.
Talking to the microphone, please.
There are many people waiting for reorders of these signs.
This is a
So,
commercial. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
So anyway, I'm doing an order now, and they'll be ready on Saturday. So you can just email info@save32acres.org if you'd like a sign on your lawn.
How much?
Many of our signs were picked up by Paramount around town, and I understand I can place a police report against that because it's stealing. It was not removed by township workers, by Public Works. It was actually removed by the family. And anyway, I asked you, Mayor, could you ask Maurice to please return the signs to my driveway? But he never did.
He did.
And they're $5 a piece.
I thought no, I don't want to. I don't know if he took them or not. He did. I did.
Well, people
saw
have
an
told-
email that he would reimburse you for any signs that
He
you
did
missed.
say that?
Yeah. So
Okay.
whatever the number is, let me know and I'll let him know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's all.
How much are the signs in case anybody wants them?
$5.
No,
Oh, you're putting them out there. They're free.
We're paying for them because out of our fundraiser.
Okay.
For promoting the
Very
event.
good. Okay, Jackie. Thank you. Anybody else? Yep. No, this young. You already went up, Don. This young lady. Come on. No, we'll get back to you.
Young ladies before young gentlemen.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. This is my first town hall meeting, I have to
you're doing
confess,
great.
so
Welcome.
I'm probably a little nervous, but my name is Jessica Springfield. I live on Harnell Avenue in Oakhurst. And the issue that I would like to bring up has probably, forgive me, probably already been addressed a dozen times, so I apologize already for that. My family has lived literally in the same house for over 85 years, which is rare today with everybody moving, but we're a second generation in our home. I have never had a deer issue before last year, and I'm an avid gardener. I have hosta lining my property. I have perennial flowers that I enjoy coming up every year, and last year was the first time in decades that I had destruction on my property due to the deer. I have spent hundreds of dollars in repellents and trying to put things down in my yard. It seems like to no avail. I have used sprays, I've used granular, I've used stakes, I've used anything that I think might salvage my gardens and my yard, okay? In addition to that, I've had Lyme's disease 4 times.
Oh, boy.
Okay. So it goes beyond just a,
What do you do about that?
you just bear, thankfully, and I'm so grateful that I happen to be able to function with the Lyme's so much more so than I have a 20-year-old granddaughter who Lyme's has gone undetected for 7 years, and she is absolutely in horrible shape for a 20-year-old girl. So it's heartbreaking. Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So we have that issue. We have people hitting the deer. It's a crisis right now, I think. And as I say, forgive me for being redundant if this has already been mentioned at previous meetings. But I'm just really hoping that between the hundreds of dollars that I've spent and again, more so a health issue, is there anything that has been already discussed that is being done to help the residents of Ocean and specifically Oakhurst?
Mr. Chara speak on that. They put a survey out, and so we're trying to come up with a deer management program, but it's a process. So go ahead, Rob. You can explain what we've done so far.
I don't know if you did see the survey either.
I filled it out and mailed it in.
Okay, fantastic. I'm sure you've been counted. So we are tabulating all of those results, compiling them. We are looking at Rich Long, Councilman Long, and I are the so-called committee. And to the mayor's point, we are looking to put a deer management program together. And what that's going to look like right now, I can't exactly tell you, but there's a long...
Non-lethal. That would be my position.
What is it?
Non-lethal approach would be me personally.
Well, I'd like to see them tranquilized and relocated, like to Bear Mountain or something like that, far away from a residential area where they're doing damage to everyone's property and, health issues as well. They don't belong. It's a crisis situation. Okay, so it's comical, really, but yet not. I get up in the morning and I come downstairs and I look out the window and survey the damage.
You're on Harnell?
Yes.
We're neighbors. I'm on Robbie. So
are they coming from?
So
do you back up to where Rob is? Or are they coming from like the West Lincoln area?
They're coming from Palea Park, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen them. Okay, I had grandchildren in my car a few weeks ago, and we made a game out of it. I said, okay, we're getting ready to pass the park. Count how many deer you see. We counted 24, just clustered in one area, okay? Yeah. So they are infiltrating the neighborhoods now, as you well know, okay?
At all hours.
No, in the cloak of night when we're sleeping.
Oh, no.
They come...
Get up early, and they're there.
They're there, too. So I feel like a desperate situation here. I'm a recent widow. I don't know what else to do. So I'm appealing to you to please do something for us.
So we're working with the Department of the State Fish and Wildlife Commission. So we've met with them. We have options that they've put in front of us, and we are going to continue to work with them and other agencies and other groups to put a full-blown plan together. So we are working on it. I can't give you a timetable, but stay tuned. We'll have
the state report. So what's happening is the survey was part of their first step program. So they take the results, send them back to the state. You probably won't hear from them till January.
Well, that's the problem.
Right, it's the timeline. But as soon as we get the okay, you guys have a management plan in place, go for it. Then we'll keep you posted. But it's coming. We're acutely aware of the situation.
Could you share what options you're considering?
Well, I told you my number one would be a non-lethal. Mm-hmm. And I would hope I get enough support from that. So there's many non-lethal methods.
I'm not promoting it. You asked for options. So certainly the mayor's non-lethal. There are lethal. There are relocating. There are tranquilizing. What's the word I should be using? Sterilizing. Thank you.
Rob, how about TNR? Can you do that?
No, well, what happens, like Saddlebrook has a sterilization program, and Staten Island actually neuters the male.
But that's not going to prevent them from eating our yards
it stops the herd from multiplying within the herd. Yes, if we could relocate, you have to find a farm or someone who will take them. So
it's a long-term situation that, frankly, the council has been dealing with for several years, and at one point there was the discussion about having a hunt, and obviously that created a lot of opposition from many people in the town. There were many people who were in support, who were in your position, who have been dealing with it for a long time or period of time, and so it's gone back and forth as to it's a tough issue how to handle it. Much like the issue with the cats. I mean, that's another a little smaller, but another issue that has created a lot of problems for people. on the one hand, and then other people feel, we have to, it can't be any kind of lethal, kind of
Yeah, I
resolution.
understand that. I guess it's the destruction, the monetary destruction
To the gardens.
to
and
the
stuff.
properties that we've, developed and spent time growing
Yeah.
and developing, and then the health issue as well.
Well, I think the health issue is an important one. Not that the monetary one isn't, but I think certainly the health issue.
Right.
My son does have Lyme's as well, so I am sensitive
Yeah,
to that.
it's
So
it's very bad in this area,
right,
and there's a
yeah.
reason for it.
He
There's a
happened to
reason
get
for
it somewhere else, but he does have it, so I am sensitive to that. So Jessica will certainly keep you abreast, or stay tuned and come as you see fit to the meetings, and we'll certainly post things as we make progress.
It would be on the website
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
sure it'll be
look.
on the website,
I
yeah.
tried to look on the website to see if there was any results from the survey. I didn't see anything, so I might not have been looking in the right
You're
place.
putting
I don't
those
know.
together, right, Rob, now?
We're still compiling things.
Okay.
You're still
Had
compiling
a lot
it.
of notes.
A lot.
A lot of people had comments.
Okay, so there's a lot of concerns. So
Yes.
you're aware of that.
Over 1,000.
Yeah.
More people responded to that than voted. Something like that. It was a high number.
Okay, all right.
It was a lot.
Now, I had one other question. I don't know if this is the time to present another
Sure.
question. It's about the trees being taken down in Oakhurst,
Yeah.
okay? On my property, I have 8 large oak trees because we've lived there for so many decades. And what my concern is, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, do I understand that since Sandy, Hurricane Sandy, that each resident is allowed to remove 4 trees per yard of 9 inches or more? Is that completely bogus and false?
No.
Okay, good. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the amount of
So
trees that people can
there's
remove?
depends on how many trees you have in a yard, how many you can remove. So I think it's out of 3. If you have less than 3, you need to come in here. If you have 3 or less, you need to come down and get a permit to remove any. If you have 5 or less, you can take one out without a permit. If there's another one's disease, or you can prove it has a problem, you come in. So it's 20% roughly.
I forget what the number
But there's a
is.
number
There's
that we
also
tied
size
to.
wise too, based on the
And
diameter.
9 inches is correct for residential.
9
You
inches.
might want to check, with the planning department, because I know we've had changes to the ordinance over the period of time when it first was raised. So I don't know if Ron Kirk at the planning administrator would be able to help you, or he would be able to direct you to someone who would have the answer as to what you can do in terms of trees.
My concern being
There are a lot of people
A
cutting trees
resident.
down in Oakhurst.
a lot of people are moving in also. They don't want to be bothered with raking leaves. And so I'm hearing chainsaws going all the time. And I'm thinking, oh no, there goes another one. So I don't want to be this like tree hugger, but I am concerned that Oakhurst will be no longer if we keep taking down the oak trees. So I'm really hoping that that could be revisited and see if we could possibly put a limit on how many trees are.
We do have a limit. It's just a matter of compliance.
There is a limit.
There is
and
a
it's
limit.
it's a matter of letting, if you do see people, especially in Oakhurst, since I live there too, feel free to let you can call the Tom Caruso.
Yeah, well, we have a reported app. It's anonymous. You can
Reported
just
app, too.
send that in, and I'll get it and send it right over to code enforcement. They'll run out there and take a look.
So I would call the police department, or you're
Code
saying?
enforcement.
Code
Code
enforcement.
enforcement, okay. All right, well, thank you for your time, I
Okay.
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Great
All
first
right.
meeting.
Good stuff. Mr. Huss, I see you approaching the microphone. Come on up. And even though we know you and you have a street named after you, you still have to say your name and address for the record.
Do you live on Huss Boulevard?
John
Huss, West Allenhurst. Can I look at the camera?
Sure. Yeah.
Turn
Wave to Tom.
That's your better side. That's good.
I couldn't go without, I said tonight I just wanted to stop in, but the 32 acres, God bless you. It's a great idea to save it to 32 acres if you can. But, we put Joe Palaia, I ran on the campaign of Palaia Park, or Teal Test Site, should be, 208 acres. Then we got to 42 acres of the 75, and you end up with 33, with a commitment that he sold it so they could develop the 32 acres.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes, that was.
Right? Now, I don't know whether that's in writing, but that was a commitment that was made, that he could develop it. And I wanted to know, if you're going to purchase that, how are you going to handle the cap, your 2% cap? You pay for it.
I don't know. That's a whole nother. Right.
I think it's a total impossibility because you're looking at $15 to $20 million.
Right.
And you bond that, you're looking at $500,000-$600,000 a year. What are you going to fire the road department? Fire cops? You know, I don't think it's going to work. You know, it's a nice idea, but I'm not going to come up with signs and put signs for. We need ratables. A $2 million ratable. What's wrong with having a $2 million ratable, folks? You know, it's not a bad idea. Help your taxes. Everybody's complaining about, oh, the taxes in Ocean Township are so high. You know, I was hoping Mrs. Hudson would be here tonight 'cause she was busting about the hotel and what kind of people. There's a transcript for a hotel that was approved in 1986 by the zoning board. Never got built because I appealed it and won. So I stopped the hotel. However, this hotel, I close my eyes when I see this track, and I see the most gorgeous little, commercial program that you could ever ask for. You know, that would make Highway 35 more attractive as far as I'm concerned. Yes, the trees are great, and the deer, they love the 32 acres. Let me tell you something. They're multiplying in that 32 acres like you can't believe. That's all. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Huss. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Anything? One more, Mr. Geiger. I'm sorry.
I have to yield to 007.
You have to.
007. A question which I brought up before. Stop signs on exits from Route 18.
Still working on it with the state. I'll call them again tomorrow.
Because it's now the middle of July.
So
summer season will be over in another 6 weeks.
We have.
I can tell you it's not going to happen in 6 weeks.
But we have a representative working on our highway program, Mike.
Yeah.
Let's, Ms. Tom Zach, let's reach out to them and say, hey, listen, while you're here doing these improvements,
Yeah, because the danger is
take
now.
a look at that. That might be our guy to get to quicker.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Thank you, Merwin. Anybody else? Well,
Geiger.
Mr. Geiger first, because he was first, and then you can come back up again. Go ahead, Mr. Geiger.
Thank you.
Ray, did you have something else you were going to ask, add?
Just the reference to the EIS. I believe that's a federal land.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see, let me check. Yep, I'm still Don Geiger.
Okay.
And I still live at 1108 Grassmere Avenue. Mine is be very short. I remember in a previous meeting, maybe 4 or 5 months ago,
Raise the mic a little.
raise the mic a little, or raise my voice a little bit,
Nope,
or
that's
raise
perfect.
both.
Perfect.
Anyway, that better?
Beautiful.
Want me to start all over again?
No, we got you.
Okay. We had talked about Ocean Township taking over the sewerage from Asbury Park. Has that happened? Not happened?
No, that would be a decision from the Sewage Authority. I know they're still doing studies and they're talking about it, and there's pros and cons to them. Mr. Huss, if we ever take over, he'll go crazy because he does not want that to happen. But that's the Sewage Authority's baby. I think what they're looking at, some of the concerns, of course, is Asbury Park has 100-year-old sewer lines in there, and they're still building high rises. So the volume count we had at one time was 4,328 gallons a day, and I kind of think that number is low. Then you have to add in maybe another 2,130 gallons for any storms, etc. And the capacity right now is 11,750,000, and we rate at about 2,800,000 to 3.3 million a day of our own. So you combine all that together, I think there have to be work to be done at this sewer plant to accommodate that.
Okay. I know that they're a separate entity, but
the income would be fantastic, but I don't know. I think that might be another big bond for the Sewage Authority down the road. But they would be a regional. Maybe there's funds there. But anyway, it's going to be their discussion on it.
Okay. And has there been anything since I last asked about it happened? I know you have a 90-day period for the Yeshiva building.
Yeah, we're discussing now. We sent a letter of intent to purchase, subject to our appraisal or inspection, things like that. So
has that gone anywhere?
We're in discussion. Our attorneys are just letter writing right now. It's a letter campaign.
Letter campaign. Okay. And last but not least, I have to give a shout out to Mary and Nancy in Public Works.
Great.
Who are great employees. A credit to the township.
They are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jackie?
There was another thing on my list that I'd forgotten.
Okay.
The heritage tree count. Is that something, Ray, that you would know? There was a heritage tree study?
Okay, you know what? The problem is if you ask him questions, he's not going to get picked up.
Okay.
So
Do we do one of those? Right? Because remember I had asked you a while back, who's in there cleaning out the forest because there's pink paint on some trees. And then I said, someone must be doing that as a job. Who's paying it for it? And you didn't know at the time. Do you know now?
It wasn't anything through the township, so it's private through either the owner, has to be the current owner if they're doing anything. I haven't seen any trees come out.
I don't know. It just seemed like it was getting lighter on the inside and not as dense. So we thought maybe they're cutting trees. So as the resident asked how many trees people are allowed to cut.
Well,
in a case like a
under 9 or 6 inches there, which there's probably 1,000,
Mhm.
they can come out without a permit. In fact, I think they had asked me if they can go in there and start doing that, and I said I would wait until your application went through. Just do everything at once. I think it's best that you wait.
Well, does Paramount own it now?
I
Did they
don't know.
sale actually go through?
I don't know the status of their contract. And in contracts with commercial property, it's complicated. They can put money in for certain stages of work or things that they want to do as far as going on the property. So I assume in that contract that they probably have a clause in there where they're allowed to go in and maybe prep or do whatever they can within reason without permits, things that they can do without a permit. One thing they can do without a permit is take out any of those saplings, basically, or trees that are under a certain caliper.
Well, I think the heritage tree count or survey means that I think they would have to preserve certain trees if we have that
Well,
survey
I think that
done.
would only be the ones over the 9-inch.
Right.
Well, it'll be what it'll be.
But I don't think. But I haven't seen anybody.
But is that a government law that the heritage tree, or is it just for communities that care about heritage trees? We've lost Geiger. He's fallen asleep. Okay. All right. So yeah, that was the one thing. So then it wouldn't have anything to do with that. And if Paramount does purchase the property, do you let us know that, or is it? I mean, you had said they wouldn't buy it until it went through the planning board because why would he buy it if he didn't know if it would be approved?
He didn't say that. We said we don't get the contract. We don't know what the contract says. What we said to you was, in all probability, most contracts like that are subject to and contingent upon them getting their approvals before they would close. But we don't know what's in this contract. That's what we've said to you several times.
Yeah, no, I know. I keep looking back at the tape, so I'm pretty sure about what you say. But it was implied that they would not buy it unless they knew it could go to the planning board.
I think, like Marty said, usually they wouldn't close on a piece that big unless you had all your approvals.
Because when he phoned me the day screaming about the signs, Maurice, he said, "That's my land."
Maybe he closed. I haven't.
But why wouldn't you know? That's such a big important property.
No. It's private. I wouldn't know if somebody sold their house unless I was.
Why? When I bought my house, all of a sudden it was a legal document.
If it gets recorded, I could look that up, but I haven't seen that come through yet.
Could you look it up for the next meeting?
Anybody could look it up. Anybody
If it gets
can.
recorded and then it gets sent into our tax office, then there would be knowledge that the property.
I'll do it for you,
Tax
but-
office gets the notice.
Yeah.
And
You don't have-
I don't know what he said to you. I don't know what you said to him, but we have no idea at this point.
No, he just was yelling on the phone.
As of tomorrow, call me and I'll tell you who's still paying the taxes.
Okay.
All right.
And then
that's
just what
how
you
I'll
had,
know.
where's Mr. Haas, is it?
Mr. Huss is in the back room.
Yeah, you had mentioned that there was a hotel in the 1987 plans.
In Ocean Township. I don't know if it was that site. He said in Ocean Township.
Oh, okay, because the plans that we're working with now are from 1990, and there wasn't a hotel
No, he's
on our master
just saying
plan.
in general that a hotel was approved in Ocean, and he shot it down. And he's holding up a transcript in the back of the
but that's not valid anymore because it's a 1990 master plan.
What are we going to argue about?
Nonetheless.
Well, then why bring it? It just seemed like something silly to bring up since it's not even part of our master plan anymore, and it's our 1990
I
master.
think he had reasons to bring it up, which made sense at the time.
Well, people ask about the hotel because they say the Sheraton looks empty, half empty most of the time, so they don't understand the reason for a hotel. So anyway, okay.
Not my level of business. Don't know either.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Yes, Mr. Bay, come on up and state your name and address for the record.
Been sitting too long.
Russ Bay,
Your hip
700
bothering you?
Bound Road. Huh?
Your hip?
Yeah, I slept
Yeah.
on the wrong side and I didn't shave today and I didn't want to speak to the camera. And the light is going off my bald head, so I have to apologize. But I have some good news for everyone. August 1st will be 12 years since I'm in Wayside, and I know we're concerned about trees and everything. Since I've been in Wayside, I've planted 150 trees on my
Wow.
property, and I don't know how many
Nice.
other bushes. I
Great.
went into this maybe. I took a survey once, and I think I have 1,200 plants on my property. Some of you have
Awesome.
been there, so we're worried about a few trees here or there. I've done my share.
You've done your share, sir.
All welcome to take. And also, just a little note, Township does a great job in policing the streets and the sidewalks, and they should be complimented.
Well,
all
thank
do
you
a very
for
good
that.
job.
Thank you, Mr. Bay. And thank you for doing your part there. I love it. Okay. Anybody else have anything? No, I'd like to just make a mention. It's been 1 year now since Mr. Masillo has been our full-time manager. Congratulations, Mr. Masillo. And I want to say he hit the ground running. He came in and there was a lot on the table. Just like when we took over, there was a lot going on from probably 5 and 6 year old applications, lawsuits, things that we all had to cope with. And Mr. Masillo's showed tremendous depth and range there in getting through all that, and a very task-oriented gentleman. So I just want to say we're very, very honored and very proud of what you've done. We're very happy with the work you've done, Mr. Masillo. So congratulations on your first year, and as Mr. Geiger said, you survived it. So good stuff. All right, anybody else? I want to make a motion to close, and thank you all for coming here. And remember, we air twice a day, 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Channel 22 if you have Files, and 77 if you have Cablevision. Motion to close?
I make the motion to close.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Napolitani
Yes.
and Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming.